Quick Start set up Microsoft Foundry resources. In this Quick Start, you create Microsoft Foundry project and deploy a model. If you are managing a team, you also grant access to team members. Okay, if you are managing a team, you also grant access to team members. After you complete these steps, you or your team can start building AI applications using deployed model. After you complete these steps, okay, just quickly go through this thing. In this quick start, you create a Microsoft Foundry project and deploy a model. If you are managing a team, you can also grant access to the team members. After you complete these steps, I'm not sure what that steps they meaning. I'm not sure what exact steps they are meaning. Like they haven't mentioned any steps before, but they are just. I'm not sure what exact step they are actually meaning here. Okay. So after you complete these steps, I'm not sure. These two steps, like create a project and deploy, these are the steps that they are meaning. I'm not sure. After you complete these steps, you or your team can start building AI applications using deployed models. Okay. So you want to start building AI application using deploy models. So first you need to create a Microsoft Foundry project and deploy a model. Then you can give access to your team members, and then these teams can start building application using the deployed model which you created using when you create a project. This quick start shows you how to create resources to build an AI agent with a basic setup. For more advanced scenarios that you use your own resources, set up your own environment for agent development. Prerequisites: an Azure account with an active subscription. If you don't have one, create a free Azure account which includes a free trial subscription. If you are creating a project for yourself, access a role that allows you to create a Foundry resource, such as Foundry account owner or a Foundry owner or a subscription or a resource on the subscription or resource group. For more information about permissions, see role-based access control for Microsoft Foundry. So what are the access roles that enables you to create a Foundry resource? They are Foundry account owner or a Foundry owner. The Foundry RBAC roles were recently named. Foundry user, Foundry owner, Foundry account owner, Foundry project manager were previously named Azure AI user, Azure AI owner, Azure AI account owner, Azure AI project manager. You might still see the previous same names in some places while the renamed rolls out. So they are kind of currently renaming everything. So earlier it was Azure AI user, now it's just Foundry user. Earlier it was Azure AI owner, now it's just Foundry owner. Just replace everything Foundry Azure AI with Foundry. Okay, so when you think of Foundry, you should think of actually Azure AI. That is the one that is majorly modified into another unified, like, so Azure AI is kind of a single product, where Foundry is kind of a mix of everything in the bag. Okay, you might still see the previous name in some places, so they are currently working on it while the rename rolls out. The role IDs and core permissions are unchanged by the rename. So the role ID never changed, and the core permissions that these permissions, for example, the Foundry account owner has, what are the permissions? Those didn't change. Only the name got changed. If you are creating a project for a team, access to a role that allows you to complete role assignments, such as owner. So you should be an owner. So when you are accessing a role, you should have something kind of owner. Then only you can give access to others as well. For more information about permissions, see role-based access control for Microsoft Foundry. So here you can go and see what are the permissions that a Microsoft Foundry role has. Like it could be owner or a project manager, as they said, Foundry project manager. A list of user emails for a list of user email address or Microsoft Entra security group IDs for team members who need access. A list of user email address or Microsoft Entra security group IDs for team members who need access. Okay, a list of user email address or Microsoft Entra security group IDs for team members who need access. Okay, I can't get this actually into my head. So if you are creating a project for a team, a list of, I'm not sure, like I can't sometimes understand what they are meaning. Like, so if you are creating and then this is an action, but this is just a word, like saying list of user emails and IDs for team members who need access. Okay, I'm not sure why they mentioned that there, but I cannot understand. Select your preferred method by using the following tabs. Azure CLI, install Azure CLI version 2 and 2.67 or later, check with AZ version, sign into Azure, AZ login. Or you can go to the Foundry portal Assign access to the Microsoft Foundry portal. Create a project. Create a Foundry project to organize your work. The project contains models, agents, and other resources your team uses. Create your project in the West US region if you want to try instant model preview. Okay, so instant model preview is actually available in West US 3. Okay, so Azure CLI, there's one thing you can do, and Foundry portal you can do. I will go with the Foundry portal. Sign into Microsoft Foundry. Make sure the new Foundry toggle is on. These steps refer to Foundry new. Create a project. So basically they are trying to shift to the front end, new one. So they have this toggle as well. You can actually use your the old one, and then you can switch this toggle. Create a project. This is your first use of Foundry. You'll be asked to create or search for a project to continue. Select the create new project in the drop down. Okay, if you already have a project loaded, select its name in the upper left corner, and then select create a new project. Okay, enter a new project name such as my Foundry project. Select advanced option to configure the resource group and location. Resource group. Create a new resource group or select an existing one. If you create a new resource group, you can more easily manage the project and all its resources together. So, okay, select an advanced option to configure resource group and location. Resource group. Create a new resource group or select an existing one. If you create a new resource group, you can more easily manage the project, all its resources together. Okay, just focus. I am just zoning out. Okay, cool. Select an advanced options to configure the resource group and location. So what is an advanced option? Resource group is an advanced option. Create new resource group or select an existing one. If you create a new resource group, you can more easily manage the project and all its resources together. So if you are creating new one, it's easy to manage. If you are using an existing one, not so easy. Location, select the region closest to your team. So if you are in Asia, select Asia, US, select create project. Wait for the project to be created. When the project overview page appears, your project is ready. So you create it, you click create, and then you wait, the overview page appears, it's created. Deploy a model. Deploy a model that you can use. This example uses ChatGPT 5 mini, but you can choose any available model. You can skip the step altogether if you want to try an instant model preview. Select discover in the upper right navigation, then models in the left pane. Select discover in the upper right navigation, then models in the left pane. Search for GPT 5 mini. Select deploy. Default settings, add to it settings to add it to your project. Note the deployment name, for example GPT 5.1 mini. Your team needs this name to use this model. Get your project connection details. You need your project endpoint to connect from code. If you are administering the project for others, send them this endpoint along with the deployment name. Sign into the Microsoft Foundry by using your Azure account. Select your project. Find your project endpoint on the welcome screen of the project. So here you can see welcome admin, start building, and there you find your project endpoint. Copy the endpoint value. Use this value in other quick starts and tutorials. For administrators, grant access. If you are administrating a team, assign the Foundry user role to team members so they can use the project and deploy models. This role provides the minimum permissions needed to build and test AI application. For other roles, you might need to see role-based role access control for Microsoft Foundry. Important. The Foundry RBAC roles were recently renamed. Again, they are saying the same thing. You don't need to worry about it. In the Foundry portal, select operate in the upper right navigation. Select admin on the left pane. Select your project name in the table. Add user in the upper right. Select the email address of the team member. Select add. Repeat this step for each team member or security group. To add multiple users at once, use Microsoft Entra Security Group instead of individual email address. Verify the team member access. Ask a team member to verify their access by signing into Microsoft Foundry and selecting the project from the project list. If the team member can't access the project, verify the role assignment completed successfully. Check that you use the correct email address or security group ID. Make sure the team member's Azure account is in the same Microsoft Entra tenant. To confirm the deployed model is available, ask the team member to select build in the upper right navigation, then models in the left pane. To confirm the deployed model is available, ask the team members to select build in the upper right navigation, then models in the left pane. Clean up resources. When you no longer own this project, delete the resource group to delete all resources associated with it. So in the Foundry model, go to the Azure portal, find and select your resource group, delete and confirm the delete resource group and all its associated resources. So these are the basic things. Was this helpful? Yes. Continue. Understand. Submit.